Yeah, y'all. Yeah, y'all.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Simplified. Sorry for not uploading videos for the last couple of days. I've been a little under the weather, but now I'm back and we will look at waves. We will discuss the idea behind this project, the team, as well as what they're going to be doing in the near future. So sit tight, this is a project you do not want to miss out on. But before I get to it, thank you everyone for the likes, for the subscriptions. Thank you so much for your support and thank you for the suggestions. So let's get straight into it then. So Waves wants to challenge Ethereum and Neo by having a whole bunch of apps on their ecosystem. So they want to be a network token. This is a brand new blockchain built ground up and it's open source, so you can check out the stuff on GitHub. Another aspect of their project is a decentralized exchange. If you use EtherDelta, you know that it isn't that easy. So what they're promising is an easy to use decentralized exchange. They have a multi-currency wallet, including a mobile app. I've downloaded the app and it's really sleek, secure, and it's very easy to get your seed phrase if you forgot to write it down the first time, which I admittedly did. So that's a little function that a lot of apps do not have, but I found an immediate use for it, so thank you Waves for thinking of that small little detail. I wrote the primary token is proof of stake because there are a few other tokens that I will discuss later on in this video. It's a little confusing, which is why I felt the need to clear it up. And the last aspect is that it uses Scala. Lastly, the code is written in Scala, which is a form of Java. So unlike Ethereum, where you need to learn Solidity, this uses an established language, so coders can actually get straight into developing on this platform. So let's have a look at the problems with the existing networks that made this team see that there was a need to create their own platform from the ground up. On Neo, for example, you need to pay a fee to launch your own tokens, and it's fairly expensive. On Ethereum, it just isn't as easy to launch a token since you need to know Solidity. Another problem is transaction congestion and scalability issues, and we've seen lots of that in Bitcoin and then with the whole CryptoKitties thing with Ethereum. So this is a potential place that they can improve. People argue that there aren't enough trading pairs on the established exchanges. While there are new trading pairs and new exchanges coming up all the time, it's still not too easy to trade between altcoins. And lastly, while there is two-factor authentication and a whole bunch of other security steps on these centralized exchanges, they are still prone to fraud because you do not hold the private keys of your assets that are on the exchange. So how are Waves going to actually address these problems? I had a look at the process behind launching tokens on the Waves platform, and it does seem fairly simple. You don't really need to know how to code that much if you want to release a simple basic token. The price is one Waves token for an issuance fee, and that's it. A new development on the Waves platform, also known as NG, enables faster transactions. They say it's much faster, hundreds per second in quote marks, because we don't know yet. It hasn't yet been launched and the market hasn't yet tested it. That's their claim, but let's see if they can actually follow this up with results. And as a response to the fairly niche problem of the inability to trade between your smaller cap crypto assets, the Waves platform enables all assets listed to be inter-traded. And lastly, they address the problems of security on centralized exchanges by not requiring deposits into the exchange itself. You use the Waves wallet and the wallet links to the exchange, so you still hold your private keys and you're not actually depositing anything onto the exchange. So what this enables is much more control over your tokens without ever letting them out of your sight until they're traded. So I think all these points are valid, and some of them are much more valid than others, but I do think that all are most definitely improvements on what we currently have. So let's have a look at the people behind this team, because I do think the team is one of the most important factors in the success of a project. The team has a whole bunch of professionally taken photos with their roles listed. There are many more people on the team than what I've listed, but I just listed the core members, i.e. the C-suite or equivalent of their team. Only 3 members of this core team have an active LinkedIn page, and I found that a little disappointing because this is business, this is entrepreneurship, and you've really got to get your name out there if you want success. However, this is a completely Russian team, and they do have a major presence on VK, Contact, which is the Russian Facebook. Alexandra, the head of marketing, has over 15 years in this space, and she has a lot of contacts and a very active LinkedIn profile. She is not listed on the core team on the website, but she is listed on LinkedIn. I'm not too sure about the differentiation between the head of communications and the head of marketing, because they are different people. However, I did not find a LinkedIn presence for Natalia, so I do not know 100% whether these two positions are both active. The other members of the team, I haven't seen anything that would be cause for alarm, nor have I seen anything that would be cause for absolute optimism. So I'm sort of on the fence about the team. I'm not convinced nor disheartened, so I'll just leave that as it is. So having looked at that, let's look at the Waves token, what it's all about. If you go into CoinMarketCap and you type in Waves, you would see not one, not two, but 3 Waves tokens. So I'll talk about all 3 for your information. So the Waves token is essential for launching apps on the platform. You need to pay that 1 Waves fee in order to get your token out in the open. Also, being a proof of stake coin, you stake your Waves tokens and you get transaction fees. I'll talk about staking and leasing a little bit more later on in the video. The other 2 tokens listed on CoinMarketCap are not readily available on centralized exchanges. The Waves community token was a loyalty program awarded to early adopters. The tokens were distributed over a 9-month period, and that time is done. The main advantages for holders of this token is that they get bonuses on any tokens launched on the Waves network. So all this is an incentive. The last one that's listed on CoinMarketCap is Waves Go. Waves Go is a mining pool that also created a block explorer for the Waves blockchain. The Waves Go token is awarded to people on the Waves Go mining pool, and it's a reward for leasing their tokens. So what we can see is the Waves token is the only essential part for the functioning of this ecosystem from these 3 tokens that are listed on CoinMarketCap. So having bought your Waves token, what kind of passive income can you get from it? There are 2 options that you've got. There's mining and then there's leasing. So how do you mine the Waves token? Well, in order to find that out, I had a look at Steemit, and there was quite a detailed article on the expectations of revenues as well as the actual revenues. To mine, you need a minimum of 1,000 waves, and at $13 a Waves token, that's quite the outlay. But you do get 5% per month in returns from transaction fees. So the person who wrote the article said they're expecting 1% monthly revenue. This figure was recently changed to 5%. The poster was actually rewarded 6% per month in revenue, and I put that figure in the square brackets. Another alternative for people who do not hold a huge amount of Waves tokens is leasing. Leasing enables miners to use your tokens while you still keep them in your wallet. You're basically just transferring the rights of the token to them, and with this you can expect 0.7 to 0.8% of returns. But the writer on the Steemit article did mention that he got considerably less rewards. This was quite an old article, but it was the most detailed one, so I still use this for my reference. If you have leased your token out to a pool, you do receive your rewards in the native token of the mining pool. This does create potential for creating lots of tokens, maybe some more useful than others, some with different values than others, but it is quite a novel way to make your mining pool stand out from the rest. There are 2 major decentralized application processes on the Waves platform, and one of those doesn't work, so it's not exactly the biggest vote of confidence, but the second one completely makes up for it. I find the Primal-based platform a truly transcendent use of the blockchain. When I first read about this project, I was totally, utterly gobsmacked. This is a beautiful idea, and it isn't necessarily unique to this company, Primal-based. So Primal-based uses cryptocurrency to assign ownership of physical spaces in their office buildings. With 1 token, you have access to a co-working space. With 4 tokens, you have your own office. In having a token that represents physical spaces, you would expect it to be fairly expensive, and they are fairly expensive. Coming in at over $7,700, this will be quite the outlay, but it is an office in a major metropolitan city. Primal-based currently has office spaces in Amsterdam, as well as a brand new office in Berlin opening tomorrow. There will be further spaces opening up in New York, London, and Singapore as well, so this could be a very exciting project to look out for. In starting out in all these major cities with ludicrously high rent, the token price is fairly competitive as well as reflective of the real estate price because prices are high in those cities, and with the ownership of an actual office space, it's actually offering fantastic value for any people interested in this. Something that's even more impressive than this primal-based project on the Waves platform is the sort of partnerships that they're actually looking to get. This is a Russian company, and they've started their journey by developing projects in their own backyard. People who visit Burger King in Russia will be awarded 1 Whoppercoin per ruble spent, and 1,700 Whoppercoins is the cost of 1 Whopper. The other partnerships with the Russian National Settlement Depository as well as the Gazprom Bank are both forays into the financial system. The partnership with Deloitte is by far the cherry on top because this is their first international move to help a global company work on blockchain solutions for their clients as well as regulating ICOs around the world. So these guys are really making some massive waves. No pun intended. I'm so sorry for that. The Waves roadmap looks really promising, especially looking forward into the first quarter of 2018. Very soon, they will be launching their upgraded network that enables way more transactions per second than both Ethereum and Bitcoin combined. It's a very tall promise, and I do hope that they can follow it through. The tokenomical platform will ensure that all new projects are compliant with the legal framework required of ICOs. A lot of the network tokens are introducing smart platforms, and Waves is better late than never to this party. People can make all the promises they want, but now we need to see how these things can scale, especially if they get a whole bunch of more attention from not only the ardent cryptocurrency fans, but the newcomers and the not so technically savvy cryptocurrency traders and users. A key aspect of any business is competition. Other than taking your market share, competitors will push you to get better. And in 3 major spaces in which Waves are operating, they do have some serious competition. There are 2 very established network tokens, NEO and Ethereum. NEO have already launched ICOs on their platform. In addition, we also have EOS, so let's see if they can carve out a space for themselves in this network token group. When it comes to decentralized exchanges, EtherDelta has been around for a while. It's not that easy to use, but it has been around and it has a dedicated user base. Ethereum is very new to the market, and BitShares has been around as well. So there are a few competitors. In the multi-currency wallet space, TenX and Eidoo both have great presences. Eidoo are very much top of mind in the United States, so Waves will have a bit of work to do in order to take that market. But they do have the Russian market as theirs for the taking, so let's see. You haven't heard too much from 10x in the last year, but they are still one of the first major cryptocurrency wallets. So let's see if they can maintain their place at the top. You've also got Monaco, as well as the other people trying to get cards into this space. And lastly, I've mentioned Exodus because they're a desktop wallet, and desktop wallets are still fairly important. So let's see if Waves can compete with these people. And then next, I'm pretty sure that you want to know about this price action. And Waves is on a bit of a dip, and it's been on a dip for the last couple months compared to where it was earlier. Even though Waves had a bit of a run up recently, it sort of corrected itself and it's almost exactly back at those pre-pump levels. It's sitting pretty at 66,000 Satoshi, and I think it could actually keep dropping on further. And I would be comfortable getting between 55,000 and 56,000 Satoshi. Will it ever drop below that 45,000 mark? Maybe, we do not know. This cryptocurrency, anything can happen, but we can see that Waves is trending upwards. The green lines I've drawn show both the lows and highs are getting higher. It is a pattern, but it is not a definitive pattern, but it is something for us to work with in order to pinpoint where we might possibly buy or sell later. I will stagger my sales, but I will have a good chunk of my holdings being sold at around the 90,000 Satoshi mark. So while I'm not going to stick my neck out and say this is a dead certainty coin, I do think that my conclusions do show that I like this quite a lot. So far, from all the coins I've had a look at, this is by far the most positives. Their partnerships are fantastic. They're partnering with big companies first in their home patch, then they're going international. The transaction speed, if this NG network works, that might be a huge reason for you to use this over Ethereum. Their wallet is clean and very easy to use, and as I mentioned, for forgetful people like me, it reminds me of my seed phase again. The mining and leasing rewards are, according to that Steemit article, truly phenomenal. So if you are looking for a solid passive income coin, this might be the one. Their token is absolutely essential for the operating of the network, and I think that's quite important because a lot of tokens aren't really all that important. I have nothing but praise for the primal base idea. This could be a fantastic insight into the future of ownership of real-world spaces. The secure exchange is a great idea. Not too much more I need to say about that. When it comes to the middle of the road sort of aspects of this company, I think ease of use is a very murky thing to claim. We need to see this in practice, and I think with a few months of people trying to develop apps on this network, especially with the ICO platforms releasing next year, we can actually know this definitively. The price I put as a neutral because I think it's quite low, but is there a guarantee of the price going up? No, there are no guarantees in this, but I do think it's fairly attractive now, and if it keeps dropping, the price can get very attractive. I put both the competition and team as a bit of a neutral negative because I have nothing to believe that this team is an overwhelming favorite for dominance in this space. Same thing with the competition because while they are up against some massive players, there isn't anything there to show me that they are up for a losing battle. But it will not be easy. They have a lot of challenges to overcome, and they have scalability to overcome because they are not the biggest platform out there just yet. As platforms grow, the problems compound. So we need to see if they're ready for this. The only real negative about this platform, and it's not really a major one at all, are the low fees as a USP. Low fees are only as low as your competitors because low as an idea is relative. When more people come in with lower fees, then that just makes your idea look a little bit more obsolete because you need to scratch that off your website. It's not a big problem. It's a minor problem. And considering all the positives these guys have, it's really not an issue. And I don't think this even dents what I think about this company. So that's it from me because I really think this is a great project. Please do your own research though, and do corroborate anything that I've said. If I have made any glaring errors, please let me know, and I'd love to have a discussion about this. If you like or dislike what I have said, please comment, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. Let's get this discussion going because I do think Waves is one of these projects we can actually talk about a lot. It's all a matter of perspective on things like this. So do let me know what your perspective is. So that's it from me. This is Marv from Crypto Simplified. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, please subscribe, and do tell your friends. This is Marv from Crypto Simplified signing off. I hope you have an awesome rest of the day, and we will catch up soon. Laters.